Hi everyone, I'm Adam from Voice of Crypto, and today we are elated to have with us Tushar Gandotra. He's the CEO of FiexGlobal, an ecosystem leveraging the exciting possibilities in blockchain, Web 3.0, the Metaverse. You might have seen them too, like on Business Today, the Free Press, CNBC, and as well other sites everywhere else. So, Tushar, as you know, we probably do have quite a few questions on the plate for us, but the first thing that I do want to ask is how you got into the space when you started your journey in Web 3.0. What was that like when you first started?
First of all, thank you very much for having me here. It's a fantastic opportunity for me to be discussing what I have been through for the last 5, 6 years. So, when you asked me how I got involved into Web3, when I got involved, it wasn't Web3, it was all crypto. So we didn't call it Web3. So it was somewhere around 2016. I am basically a techie in the background. So I had somewhere around 4 Raspberry Pis lying around in the house, and I was just researching what to do with all these things. Some interesting project I can start, and I was just Googling around. And I found the word Bitcoin mining, and that intrigued me on what's this. And then my research started. So I researched for continuously around 36 hours, straight 36 hours. I did my research. I did a lot of Excel, lot of learning, and then realized it's an interesting thing. Why not get involved? So Bitcoin mining was the first thing I did in to get into Web 3.0. And my business was all related to technical conferences and workshops across the globe. And then I realized this is a good topic to start discussing around. So then we started doing conferences on cryptocurrency. So we did conference in Thailand, Dubai, India, and a couple of more countries. And that's how my journey started into Web 3.0. Now we are calling it Web 3.0. Earlier it was all cryptocurrency. Then NFT came into existence, and that's how I got connected to a lot of people through our events. Found my good number of friends in the industry. There are so many interesting people. Everybody was from different backgrounds converging to this industry. So it was a lot of learning for everybody who was just being there. So if you talk to a lot of people, the OGs, everybody talks about 2016. Somehow,
Right.
that was the converging point for everybody to join the industry. So it was mine as well.
But from then to now, how have like things changed? We talked about the beginning. We talked about how it wasn't called Web 3.0 back then, just like blockchain, all of that, and the crypto mining, of course. Can't ever forget those. So, but from that time to now, how have things changed? Has the crypto and blockchain space seen any major shifts according to you? I know you've mentioned that in a little bit of your answer, but could we go a bit into detail about that?
Oh, yes, so it has changed a lot. It has come through a lot of ups and downs. So first there was ICO mania. Everybody was releasing their tokens. Then NFT came into existence. CryptoKitty brought Ethereum network down. So there are so many learnings in the space. So every year there was something new coming up, and people were trying to readjust their strategies. Oh, this is new. Why don't we look into it? So I tell a lot of people these days that imagine this is an industry which is like $2 trillion in total. That's a very small fraction if you compare it to a global standard. So there's a huge journey in front of us. We have come a long way. A lot of interesting opportunities came alive. Smart contracts made a lot of things possible and became a base of the future technology. So it has come a long way. I have seen 2 bear markets now. So every time there are new people coming into the industry, uh, a lot of people are doing the same mistakes. I have done a lot of mistakes myself in the learning process. I learned trading. I learned writing smart contracts just for the sake of it, just to understand how it works. So a lot of learning happened. And every year I see a lot of new people joining the industry, and they are probably doing the same mistakes what we did. There is no documentation on people on what to avoid. So I guess it's learning for everybody. We are still creating content. There's not a lot of content out there. Uh, People are still learning. So the journey continues. I don't think it's a stop there. I mean, every year there is a new jargon. People are just talking about something. This is the time for metaverse. Probably next year it will be time for something else. So it's still evolving space. And that's how it is. But it's a very fast-paced, dynamic industry with a lot of learnings for everybody. That's what I feel.
So to carry on with like the ever-evolving bit that you mentioned. So while it is ever-evolving, what are like two good things currently happening in that crypto space? That it's so gigantic and everything that there's just always so much. What are two good things currently happening, and do you feel like they have like a lot of potential?
Yes, there are so many good things happening in the industry, and all these things are basically related to technology evolution. So every time we are finding something new which has a fantastic use case for the real life needs. So if you talk about two good things, NFT is a fantastic technological evolution which gives you the ownership of something. Whatever it is, it gives you the right ownership. So that's a fantastic thing. Smart contracts brought a huge landscape for a lot of real-time use case from Web 2.0 industry. Blockchain in itself is an evolutionary technology. It wasn't there before, opening a space for a lot of things like land records, like car RC, car registration. So it has opened a landscape of new use cases for a lot of new things. So whatever is happening in the industry in terms of technology, I think everything is basically a brilliant thing. It is going to change the face of the world in the next probably 10 years. How it is being used, that's very subjective. So I'm not going to comment on the uses of those things. But when you talk about the technology, it has a huge potential over the next 10 years. It has the potential of changing the world. It brought the power of money into the hands of the owner. It brought the power of immutability. For example, news. News is something which should be immutable. It shouldn't be allowed to change afterwards. Blockchain is the right fit. You talk about land records. Blockchain is the right fit. You talk about anything in terms of the current Web 2 scenario or the current how the technology is fixing the problems. There are a lot of use cases for blockchain as a whole. So it's a fantastic technological marvel which was created, and a lot of good people are building a lot of things on top of it. Vitalik created smart contracts, then Engine got the next ERC protocol. So every time there are new protocols coming on top of ERC, which are going to change a lot of things. STO started happening. ICO happened. It brought a new use case for people to raise funds from different people across the world for their project. It's like the IPO before starting a company. Although it was used in a lot of wrong ways, but I don't think that's because of the technology. Technology is, it's just there. It's how you use it that depends on your own knowledge, your own requirement, your own love of something. So how you use it, that's not the question. What is there, that's the question. How it is going to evolve the technology, that's the question. So many good things are there. I sincerely believe that this technology has the power to change a lot of things, to fix a lot of issues which were there, which nobody was asking question about. But now there is a new option that there are certain things which can be fixed using blockchain. So why not do it? Everybody is finding new use case every day. There are thousands of companies being registered in India, Dubai, Singapore. every year, and they are creating some new use case for the world to use. It's a good thing. The entire industry is coming together to fix a lot of issues which were there.
Mm-hmm. So, in that same vein, I kind of want to ask something of the opposite end of what I asked before. So, what are two things that you feel need to be done better in the sector?
Like I said, technology is the best thing. Now, their use cases are the things which have to be improved. Selling a rock doesn't make sense. Selling an image of a board ape doesn't make sense, at least to me. These are all my personal views. They don't make sense to me. I mean, they created some use case of building a community, but selling them at a very high price, it sounds a lot of capitalist people who are investing, raising the floor prices, which is not right, which I personally believe. But at the end, it's open to everybody. I mean, we cannot stop people to use the technology in the right way. It's like gun. Gun is there, somebody created it. Now you use it for good or you use it for bad. That's the user's perspective. That's not the gun's perspective. So it's the same ideology. Technology is there. It has provided a huge means of change, and how people use it, that's up to them on how they are using it. A lot of companies popping up, building on top of NFTs, creating companies just for the images. I don't believe that's the right way, or that's not the sustainable way of building a company. A company has to provide value to a lot of people, not just images, not just art. Art is for collectors. Art is a very essential part of the human need, but there are different ways. I mean, the way it is being used, it has to evolve, it has to be better. And I think with the reducing prices of the high blue chip NFTs, everybody has realized it has to be backed by some utility, something more than just an image or just an ownership of one image. It should be more than that. So it's still evolving. People are still learning things. And that's what I believe it's going to happen in the better way.
So in terms of that, I kind of want to deviate from the topic of all of this, from the negatives and the positives. Now, what we know about crypto is, we all know like it's a bear market out there. There are a lot of negative sentiments about crypto, about the crypto space. So what do you think of that? And do you have bear market advice for our viewers? Like any advice at all?
Bear market is good. I mean, it removes the noise. It removes a lot of things. People realize the true value of something. It's not driven by FOMO. The bull market is driven by FOMO. So I know a lot of VCs invested into companies just because of FOMO. Now they are very conscious of investing. Earlier, I mean, you name a coin, people were investing. I don't even want to name certain coins which came out as memes, but they made billions of dollars for people. So I believe bear market is an essential part of the well-being of an industry. That removes the noise, that removes the things which are of no value, that help people realize that after FOMO comes the actual realization. So like most of the people say that bear market is to build. So the people who are building in these bear markets, they are the people who are going to survive. So anybody who was building in bull market and now is scrambling for money because they have exhausted all the money. I don't know how people can exhaust probably $50 million and start looking for more money in a matter of probably 2 years, but that happens. I have been into business since almost 10 years now, always been a revenue guy. No business was mostly driven by VC or external funding. It was all something done as a bootstrap thing. So I think people lose the value of money when they have a lot of money. So these are the things which should not be there. People should actually build for the people. They should actually build for some important use case or some good use case to solve. If you are solving a challenge or a problem, you are going to survive the bear market because people understand that this is a value addition. This is something which is very important for us. So it doesn't matter it's a bear market or a bull market, to support the project if they are solving an actual problem. So I think the only advice which I can give to everybody on the bear market is it's good, it removes the noise, keep building. So once you have survived the bear market, you know how to traverse in the bull market, because bull market is going to come. It is going to bring a lot of money again to a lot of projects. But if you are not prepared to use it or use it in the right manner, you are going to lose it again. So learn and keep building. That's all I can tell.
So, what do you think is the future of India in terms of the metaverse or Web 3.0? Where do you think India is going down that route?
So Web 3.0 and Metaverse, there are two separate things. So Metaverse is a big set. So if you compare the Web 3.0 based Metaverse, that's a very small subset of the Metaverse area. So people are trying to relate blockchain with Metaverse, which is not the case. Metaverse has existed for the long time. It has been there. It will always be there. And you don't need to have Web 3.0 to be integrated to Metaverse to make it usable. I mean, there are some interesting use cases where the Web 3.0 part is very important to the Metaverse, but it's not important. I mean, you can have Metaverse without blockchain. You can have Metaverse without NFTs. But if you want to build a community, if you want to bring a decentralized monetization option for people, that's where the Web 3.0 or the blockchain comes into picture. And when you ask me what's the future of India, India has always been the leader in technology. You talk about telecommunication, you talk about fintech, India is leading. There are no places in the world where you get 25 GB of data and free calls for probably $7 a month. Go to any country, you won't get these things. You won't be able to get UPI in most of the countries. So India is leading with technology. So anywhere there is a good use case of technology, India leads from the front. So Metaverse and Web 3.0, if you look at the landscape, you will see Indians making a mark in the industry wherever they go. So even people are based out of Dubai, people are based out of US, people are based out of Singapore, but Indians are making waves in the industry all over the world. Doesn't matter if they are based out of India or anywhere else. They are just making the waves. You talk about Sandeep Nailwal, you talk about Nishchal, you talk about Sumit, you talk about anybody. They have already made the mark. They are already unicorns established out of India. And India is not going to be left behind in terms of technology, be it anything, be it metaverse, be it fintech, be it telecommunication, be it healthcare. India is leading everywhere. So when it comes to technology, India is going to lead. Whatever technology it is, we are smart with technology.
You hear that, everyone? We're Indians and we're definitely doing good.
That's true. We are doing pretty good.
So, can blockchain technology solve crucial issues such as corruption that developing nations like India face?
I think blockchain has a lot of scope of solving these issues, but you have to understand the technology in a different way. People talk about blockchain as the one ring fits all. That's not the case. So the world is not going to migrate to a decentralized world all of a sudden. There are going to be applications which are part decentralized, part not decentralized. So I don't believe that the technology will shift everything to decentralized way of things. That's not right. And that's not even the use case of decentralization or the blockchain technology. So these things are going to coexist. So the decentralized world and the non-decentralized world, they are going to coexist. The servers are going to be there along with the decentralized servers. So I don't think it's going to replace everything 100%. So it is going to coexist with a lot of things. So technology can only go to some extent to fix the corruption. It basically helps remove people from the sequence of things. So if you consider, let's not talk about only the blockchain, let's talk about technology. What used to happen earlier, everything was based on files, hard files. So you had to complete a file to give it to some government department, and the file moved from desk to desk to solve a problem. So if you wanted some approval, it will go to one desk, then it will go to another desk, then it will go to another desk. So that was the life of a file when it comes to finding some approval. So there were a lot of people involved in that sequence. So where corruption happened to make that sequence faster. So if I had to make that file get the approval faster, I'll pay probably to a peon to just move the file faster. I'll pay somebody to just sign the document and move it faster. So I had to physically go to the office, and the people had an access to people who were wanting that file to be moved, and they could ask money for it. So now what happens is, by technology, there is an online form. You don't go to an office. So if you don't go to an office, who will you pay the money to? So it has removed a lot of things from the user interaction. So once that interaction has reduced, the corruption automatically came down. So for example, driving license. Now I'm basically from Jammu. So now it's a very small city. It's a tier 3 city kind of place. And even that place has a online system of license renewal now. So I don't have to go to the RTO to get my license renewed. I just have to apply online, and they will verify everything, and they will renew the license, send it to me at my registered address through a courier. So a lot of interaction has been removed from doing something. So that removal of interaction has reduced the corruption. Now, what blockchain brings into picture is immutability. So something which has been written once, it cannot be rewritten. So something you cannot, earlier there was an option of just going on a file, writing it on a backdated note and be done with it. Now you cannot do that. So there are no backdated options because blockchain is there. Blockchain is immutable and transparent. So any transaction which is happening on blockchain can be viewed by anybody. I don't know if a lot of people know about it, but the mass SMS which happens in India, they are basically done through blockchain. So TRAI is the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. TRAI has the biggest implementation of blockchain when it comes to technology. So all your mass SMS, they are verified and sent through blockchain. I remember, I think 2 years ago, there was a outage of people not being able to send message. That was because TRAI said every vendor has to register themselves on the blockchain of TRAI, which is a DLT basically. It's a DLT, it's not the crypto-based blockchain, it's a DLT. So every vendor has to register themselves on the blockchain, on the DLT itself, before they are enabled to send a message. So these technologies are making sure that transparency comes into picture. So, not everybody will be able to do something wrong or something corrupt. The corrupt practices will be taken out of the picture when things become more transparent. So that's how the technology helps remove corruption, and that's how the blockchain takes one step forward to make things transparent and immutable to solve these issues for developing nations. So India has a lot of implementations on blockchain right now, and what I can see is a lot of countries across the world are bringing technology to remove the corruption. Because the front-facing things are removed, the corruption is reduced. So it's not accessible to everybody anymore. So that's how it will bring down the corruption.
Mhm.
I don't think it is going to remove the corruption 100%. That requires a human touch as well,
Mhm.
but it can do a lot of things to basically reduce it for the regular people. It can impact general people's life in a very easy way that ways.
That was very illuminating. Now, we've reached almost the end of our interview, and we're down to our final question. Thanks for reaching all this way with me. So, before we close up, I wanted to ask any closing thoughts on what India really needs to carve its niche in this space? By that, I mean, you've already talked about how India stands out, how India is already at the top, but how do we define it? How do we properly define our niche in the space to make it in a sort of publicized view? How do we carve it out, right?
India is a huge country. I mean, we are a land of people. There are so many people. So that basically says that if there is any new industry, we will be there by default because I mean, you cannot stop it. So when it comes to technology or building certain things, India has come a long way. The only thing I can say is we should keep our pace. India should retain the pace on what they are moving. It should not be reduced. And I mean, we are already the fifth biggest economy around the world. It's just a matter of time. We'll be probably the biggest economy in the world. So we are on the right track. People are doing the right things. They are understanding the challenges of the world and using the humility and the humanity. They are working on all the use cases, be it medical sciences, be it technology. India is the leader in so many aspects. India created the medicine for COVID in a very short time, along with the companies of US. So we are not short by intellect. We are not short by the enthusiasm. We are not short by the technological innovation brains. So we are on the right track. We just don't have to lose the pace. So if we keep moving with the same pace, or we probably take a better pace than this, it's just a matter of time. India will be unstoppable.
Thank you so much for joining us, Tushar.
Thank you very much for having me here. It was a fantastic conversation with you. Thank you very much.
I got to learn a lot, and so did everyone else. And please, everyone who's listening, please consider subscribing to Voice of Crypto, consider liking us, and sharing out the video. And with that, bye-bye.